Hey guys, what's going on? It's Tam Hub back with a review that no one asked for because no one bought it. Looking at about 100,000 people. Whatever. It's been a while since I felt the need to discuss a game publicly. So I've gotten a few new games at the start of the year, but all of them have been done to death. We knew Monster Hunter was going to be good. It was going to be an amazing hype fest machine that would pull in some of the most casual of gamers. Everyone needs their new Destiny 2. Their small scale MMO that they can play with a 6-pack mic. We all have a 6-pack mic. Yo dog, you trying to play some Battlefield? I got a shit ton of beers and the day off tomorrow. 6-pack mic. Fun as hell to play with over a game with no stakes. Won't ever buy in a JRPG because they don't make fucking sense. Dragon Ball FighterZ came out with less than optimal internet connection. I'm not playing it. Plus, how many of my friends were actually going to play it? Not 6-pack mic. That's a definite. So, I decided to play it safe. Spend my money a little less until some big boys came out. You know the ones. But then the temptation kicked in. It was begging me to play it, even if no one else did. Yeah, sure, I'd be alone, but it's a nice break from some of the more intense games I've been working on. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is still burning through my backlog, and I'm slowly chipping away at it, but it's a long, chunky game. Final Fantasy Dissidia NT was my levity. It was my break, my relaxer of sorts. Whole bunch of characters I knew, beating the shit out of each other for no reason whatsoever, other than, hey, a god told you to do it. I went into almost media blackout with this game. I guess it was my inner self saying it wouldn't be a huge deal of a game. No knowledge of roster, the music, the plot, even the graphics to some extent. I didn't really see much of it at all. It may as well have been the Game Informer days when all I had was dial-up internet and my mom would oh so graciously buy me a game-related magazine so I could satiate my thirst for knowledge. God knows I wasn't going to be tying up a phone line for hours learning about potential new releases. So I broke my own rules. Be hyped about a game so much you have to have it, or see the opinions of others speak of it so well that it becomes an essential library title, like Horizon Zero Dawn. That game I got only because everybody said it was good. And that's my general rules, if it's good, get it if everyone says it's good. And if I'm super hyped about it, ignore all other haters and get it fucking anyway. So there I was. January 30th, 2018. I picked it up. I hadn't pre-ordered it. Judge me. Monster Hunter put the game on the backlog for a few days, but on a day where I woke up too early for any of my friends to be on the game itself, I popped in my fresh new Dissidia. Now mind you, I didn't have the case that I wanted, so this already started this pretty bad. I got Kefka on my case, and I still haven't beat 6, so yeah, that happened. But greeted by a pretty decent opening musical cutscene, I was ready to grit my teeth and relearn the battle system from all those years ago. See, I learned how to play this game by borrowing a friend's PSP for a while. I played Dissidia 0, 1, 2, or whatever, the one with old Lil Vaughn in it, even though I wasn't a huge fan of Vaughn. I saw Titus kick a blitzball, and I was in. What greeted me was a Moogle. For those of you who are not aware, I have a tattoo of a Moogle on my right arm because of my love of them and their cute little faces. The Moogle led me to a much needed tutorial. I left the tutorial a little shaky on the controls, and a slight dislike of Moogles after it repeatedly told me how to play this game in that annoying ass voice. But I was okay with that. The story would be my training wheels to get me through this game, gradually ramping up the difficulty as I learned characters and combos. So I jumped into the story mode headfirst, into a fucking brick wall. I watched the first cutscene and there it was, walled off from the remainder of them. I thought I was running into a bug. Then I googled it. Not a bug. Nope. The story of the game is gated off by a fucking grind in offline or online battles. What? Why? Sure, the story was gonna be bad. It's to be expected. You can't just throw a roster of characters from 15 different games into a world and make it so they all know what's going on. So I was prepared for that. But not this. Not this mess. I frustratingly logged into the online servers, hoping to grind out some Memoria or whatever the fuck they call it. But then out of nowhere, I was attacked. The final boss so soon? But how? I wasn't ready for that. But there it was with its first colossal swing. His name appeared before me, emboldened, filling me with dread. Cue times. When I tell you, I had upwards of 15 minutes for one match on average that day. On average! I was furious. My internet's been holding together well enough to actually run through all of Monster Hunter with my friends. So what was wrong? When I was finally matched with an opponent, he was assisted by 2 bots. I didn't really know what that meant right away. I assumed that this is what happens when it takes a long time to find a match. Scanning through game facts, I verified this is the case. My team was also bots. No one is playing this game 2 days after launch? Did I miss the boat this fast? I guess not, because my wait was reduced quite a bit on a weekend. I even got in some good, albeit confusing matches. I love the core mechanics of this game. Hit people with weak moves so you can get stronger while reducing their strength. Then finish them with your character of choice's flagship moves. Limit breaks, overdrives, whatever. But there's so much happening at once that I don't even feel like I fully utilize these mechanics. Whole lot of explosions and suddenly, I'm dead. And I'm not going to claim that I'm good at this game. I'm still figuring it out. But it's pretty all over the place. 3v3 is really great and everything, but sometimes you just lose track of someone and they end up sneaking up behind you, giving you the work, and then you get comboed into someone else. When it works, it's a good feeling on your side. When it doesn't on your side, it's a little bit of a bummer. But when you're getting hit by it, it's a completely different story. 1 second I'm 1v1ing Squall, and the next thing I know I'm getting 3-man gangbang. Sometimes even 4-man. The 4th man being poor connectivity. No dedicated servers on this title, so you'll begin struggling to find a match, and then, when you do, it might just drag harder than being a pyromancer in Blighttown. For those Dark Souls fans, get ready. Hopefully they fix that. Lagging sucks, but it's a thing, especially for someone with internet like mine. I'm expecting something like that. It's not a big deal. I'll forgive it. But what I won't forgive, on the other hand, is the lack of representation in the roster. Final Fantasy 1, Warrior of Light and Garland. 2, Furion and the Emperor. 3, Onion Knight, Cloud of Darkness. 4, 3 characters, Cecil, Kain, and Golbez. Then you have 5 with Bart and Exdeath. 6, Terra and Kefka, of course. 7, Cloud Strife and Sephiroth, that's a given. 8, Squall, Ultimecia. 9, Zidane or Zidane and Kuja. 10, Titus and Jekt. 11, Shantoto. 12 is Vaughn. 13, Lightning. 14, my girl Y'shtola. 15, you got Noctis. Type 0, you have Ace. And then Tactics, which was a weird choice for them, I didn't see that coming, was Ramza. From 11 on, we see one character per slot per game. But this is strange, because I know for a fact that Yuna and Tifa were in these games at some point. And Aerith. And what happened to my man Gabranth? I wasn't huge on Final Fantasy 12, but he was the man. That helmet is epic, and I love his domineering attitude. Laguna, baby, where you go? Why are you cutting these people? And how has Lightning now been in multiple Dissidias, had 3 of her own games, and not gotten an enemy to face? What the hell is that? Pool 14 got Y'shtola, and we got Ace from the near forgotten Type 0. And I love that game. Like, unironically, really enjoy that game. Even though the controls were kind of iffy, the camera's absolute garbage, the characters looked very different from one another because of the HD graphics changes. We'll get to that one day, I think. But why not Machina? I didn't like him, like at all. He was my least favorite character. In fact, I've lambasted him publicly to a good friend of mine on multiple different occasions. Actually almost sweating talking about it. But him and Rem were the main characters of that game, despite their intermittent presence. Shoutouts to my girl Sice, she was the realest. You could at least make the roster match in your far advanced console release. Moving on. Unlocks in the game, pretty tight. Costumes and music, icons and dialogue, they're loot boxes, but they don't cost any money. You can just grind those out if you want, or you can just unlock them from leveling up as you go on. Either way is fine. You kind of get front-loaded in the beginning with a lot of them, and as you progress, you get less and less of them, but that's where your gold comes in. You find your way. Type 0 music's definitely a must-purchase for me, but then again, so is the Extreme from FF8. Gotta thank one of my buddies for putting me onto that song. I really love it. That's a really cool system they have going for them, considering the way that things have been going in other games. But that's basically it. It's a very bare game. Play online, play offline, grind out story unlocks, and that's it. This could have been so much better if they just expanded on what they already had. The PSP games had this intense grid, this map that you could progress through, and it was interesting, it was fun, there was a lot of options that you could make. But then this game happened. Maybe I'm just a salty fanboy, but I'm really disappointed. Give me something to do offline. Make me feel like this game doesn't require an internet connection to play. Let me have fun learning in a story that I can play how I want. And have a roster that truly represents your 30 years of amazing games. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm getting a little too negative for my own tastes. And if I was going to rate this game, it's a 5 out of 10. It's mediocrity at its best. Don't rent it for the story. There's too much grinding for that. Don't play it if your internet sucks. Just don't buy it. Maybe borrow it from a friend when they get tired of it and grind out offline, or watch the cutscenes online on YouTube. It's only an hour and 12 minutes. I've seen it. I haven't watched it because I want to earn it, but I don't want to earn it. But fire away. Go ahead. Be the guy that, plays through the game and enjoys it. Or you could just play the good version of this game. Gundam Versus. It's $40. Thanks for dropping in. I'm Ham, and you just saved $60.